From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho Daily News. Good morning, I'm Lauren Patterson. It's Thursday, August 20th. Today we have new details on the helicopter crash that killed 2 pilots fighting fire in Utah, and how pickleball is picking up in Boise. Last year, Idahoans lost $88 million to scammers, according to a new report from the Idaho Department of Finance, or IDOF. Fraud targeting seniors also doubled from 2024 to 2025. Julie Luqueta has more.
Last year, Idahoans over 60 lost about $37 million to scams, up from roughly $18 million in 2024.
We know that most people don't report due to shame or not being able to recover their funds. And so this is a very small slice of what's actually going on.
That's Celia Kinney from the IDOF. Seniors were particularly vulnerable to investment and tax support scams, she says, as well as government impersonation and romance hoaxes.
We're seeing a sharp uptick in cryptocurrency complaints.
Scams are evolving rapidly, but Kenny says people can look out for red flags that rarely change: urgency, secrecy, and requests to move funds around through unusual payment methods.
A legitimate business is not going to ask you to do this.
AI can also more easily impersonate loved ones, websites, or governmental agencies. The best way to check legitimacy is to not rush into a transaction.
If you have a little bit of a gut instinct or you feel like, this might be a scam, stop and tell someone.
Seniors represented a quarter of all victims of fraud in Idaho last year, but lost more on average than the general population, a staggering $33,000 per scam. Julie Luqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
The helicopter crew that died fighting a Utah fire was preparing to release a water load when they crashed. The National Transportation Safety Board has released its initial report of the incident. It detailed 2 radio transmissions that came through right before the helicopter went down. One said there was a problem. About a second later, they said, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday." Pilots Miles Elliott and Chris Anderson were killed. Investigators took some components from the crash site for more examination and testing. Those results, as well as a detailed look at the airframe and engines, are pending. That reporting comes from KUER in Salt Lake City for the Mountain West News Bureau. There might soon be nearly as many pickleball courts in Boise as tennis courts. George Prentice reports on the latest Parks and Rec proposal.
Despite some turf wars over who gets to play on what court, Boise Park and Rec officials say pickleball's popularity continues to grow. They said they've tried a hybrid approach, allowing some courts to have alternating dedicated times for either tennis or pickleball. On Tuesday, Recreation Superintendent Roseanne Brown told Boise council members her office thought sharing would be an everybody-gets-to-play solution, but
not the case at all. I guess there's some arguments that happen between the two communities. We've definitely gotten the message that dedicated is what the pickleball groups want.
There are currently 88 racket courts in Boise. Most are for tennis. About 14 or 20% are dedicated solely to pickleball. Parks and Rec proposal would add some 30 new pickleball courts by either converting or building in Oahe, Molinar, and Alta Harris Parks, plus the Optimus Sports Complex.
Which would be huge.
If all proposals go through, then 48% of all courts in Boise could become pickleball only. George Prentice, Boise State Public Radio News.
Parks and Rec says they'll be soliciting public comment on their pickleball proposal this fall. And that's today's episode of The Connector. I'm Lauren Patterson. You'll have the much-beloved Troy Oppie back tomorrow. Got a question or a comment for those of us behind the microphone? Email us at podcasts@boisestate.edu. We love to hear from you.